Welcome everybody once again to the wrestling content on the Anthony Blackwell Jr. channel. Uh, this is the first episode. I think I don't know if we did a Christmas one, but it's gonna be the first one we're gonna do that is now gonna be live on Facebook, Twitch, as well as Twitter and YouTube. So I finally broke down on putting this content on YouTube as well as the ABJ podcast. Tons of announcements to go. I just wanted to come in here real quick and say thank you for everybody for a great year. Just hit 400 subscribers today. I think we're up to like 406 or I don't know. It was at 408 and then two people left. I don't know. I'm not really stressing about it, but 400 subscribers, which is awesome. We've averaged 100 to 200 or 150 subscribers every month since starting 3 months ago. That's crazy. I had channels doing it for 4 years that did not do anything close to that. So the fact that you guys have all supported, rallied around this content, thank you so much. I'm going to bring BP in here real quick. But yes, what a great year. Before we get into our end of the year picks, I definitely want to pick your brain a little bit, do a little banter, as you would say in the business here, of what we thought of this year. But I also wanted to say real quick, coming up in 2023, the wrestling content's going to still be here. We're still going to be doing tons of things. We're going to start giving you a little bit of a blueprint on the content we're going to be doing. So it's still, we're doing the history of, we're going to be watching some old shows, reviewing independent shows. That's all still coming. There may be a Thursday here and there we may not do because we do have a thing at Pilgrim Brewing Company in Pottsville.
Yes, the Pro Wrestling Club.
We have
They
a
have
pro
a
wrestling,
wrestling club there. Yep.
So come hang out with us, Pro Wrestling Nights, instead of here being on YouTube if you're local, to the Pro Wrestling Club. Maybe I will bring a camera and do some vlog style stuff the night there so you guys can see kind of some Pro Wrestling Club footage. A lot of it right now is just we all sit at the bar and drink and watch wrestling.
Pretty much.
We're still trying to iron out how we're going to do it, but we have a
Not
wrestling.
that there's anything wrong with sitting at a bar drinking and watching wrestling, but we can do a little more.
But also, we also have a trivia night coming up on the 26th.
Yes, the Thursday before the Royal Rumble, Thursday, January 26th, 7:30 p.m. at Pilgrim Brewing on Center Street in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. If I was very professional, I would have the actual address, but right off of Route 61 in Pottsville, not too far from the Yingling Brewery if you've been.
Yep.
But
right next to the Majestic Theater.
Yes, it is on Center Street, I believe, between Progress and Arch, I want to say, or Race and Arch. Definitely between Progress and Arch. But anyway,
we will not be participating in wrestling trivia.
I have been banned, I believe.
Yes, you've been banned, and I won't play without you. I'm not. Paul Bear doesn't go in the ring and wrestle. You know, he brings the Undertaker.
There was a term for when, it's a term on the old Brian Alvarez podcast. He would know on the Wrestling Observer. I've been disqualified for kicking too much ass.
Yes, so I will just drink and watch you and Deppen host.
Well, no, Deppen is hosting. Let's be clear. I'm not trying to step on Tony Deppen's toes.
You're going to help with questions, and
I'm going to be helping write the questions, which wouldn't be fair. Even though he's like, you would know the answers anyway. I am not. I can't write the questions and also participate. I mean, maybe I'll help him like grade the entries or something like that. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, it'll be great.
That's the real thing. It'll be a fun time. Maybe what we could do at some point. Well, we know from last week, Corey Cross has accepted the challenge. Maybe we can do that at Pilgrim at some time. Just a little special event for a pro wrestling club, one-on-one, maybe in February. Maybe we could do like I proposed, if you remember the old ESPN game show Stump the Schwab, or like I'm on the old Comedy Central.
We have Hunter, who is a good game show host. Maybe we do it live here, where Corey jumps on the screen, you jump on the screen.
We need to find that neutral party. Maybe Andy
Hunter can host.
Okay, I just don't want anybody screaming shenanigans when there's
no. So Hunter doesn't. He just follows you just from watching content, so he doesn't know you from a hole in the ground. But I will have someone help Hunter with maybe some questions, make them hard. And I just that would be the challenge, is finding someone to, if someone even writes them and I send Hunter the questions and then the whole night. But yes, so tons of cool things. I will be bringing back beer content to the channel this year. We're gonna so here's my theory. It won't be anything live. It'll be taped stuff that I'll edit and put out later. But I'm gonna do breweries. I'm going to do distribution places, and I'm also going to be doing dive bar reviews. So
nice.
just take a camera into my GoPro into a brewery, into a bar, look at the menu, kind of take out the vibe, review my experience in the dive bar. I think my first episode is going to be at Pilguru, where I'm going to go in and just kind of get a flight and review the flight. There's going to be a lot of Pilguru content because they change their beers a lot, so it's going to be very so be prepared for a lot of Pilguru content.
And now they do the super flight too, where you can get it is the don't drive flight. It is every beer on tap for like $20 certain days.
It's like 18 beers. It's crazy. Also movie, music, TV show, and video game talks and reviews coming back, almost like a pop culture show again. And also myself and Heidi will be doing horror movie reviews, which is going to be really exciting. So, and if you have any other ideas or topics, maybe we'll throw in. We still have some live talks that we're talking about where maybe they're not so much themed. We just kind of come on and bullshit and bring some people on and just have some fun. But there's going to be a lot of cool things coming up in 2023. That's not just the ABJ podcast and us talking wrestling. I'm very excited. On our way, if we can do 100 a month, that's great. I think that's going to start to peter out. I think my social media presence is being sick of me berating them to go subscribe. But it does kind of piss me off that I have 1.8 friends and I have 1,000 people following my page, and I can't break 1,000 800 likes. It's just kind of weird. It's just tough for people, I guess, to click on a link and make a YouTube account. But if a celebrity made an account, people are quick to judge and review and love it and support it. And it is my gripe, I guess. But anyway, also the audio side of things of the ABJ podcast, go check that out on Spotify. If you're on there, every episode has a what do you think question. You can write some reviews. I want to start reading some reviews out. But anyway, let's kind of break down how was your 2022?
Pretty fun. Got to do some cool bucket list stuff wrestling wise. Shoot job went well this year. Fun times in 2022.
What are some things that stand out?
Wrestling wise, just how much newsworthy stuff there was. Just I forget where I read it at some point, but somebody said, Steve Austin came back and wrestled a match this year, and it might be like the 5th biggest news story of 2022.
Yeah, crazy, right?
5th, possibly. Yeah.
Vince is no longer in WWE.
Yeah, Vince is out. The whole brawl out thing. Just the mass return of all these people into WWE. Even now, they just signed Dragon Lee. That was a big surprise. He literally just won the AAA tag team titles, and he's coming to WWE now. So the landscape has been crazy. Just professionally, like if you would have told me at the beginning of this year you're going to be doing backstage interviews, I'm like, what? I don't want to be on camera. No, I don't want to do that. And then
him, man. I'm so proud of you.
Here it is. Literally the 3rd interview I ever do, I'm interviewing Brian Kendrick. Like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about imposter syndrome?
You called the next Austin match?
Yeah. Why am I standing next to this guy?
Yeah. It's nuts, man. But it's been a great 2022. Way more to come. We want to thank all of you in the chat. Dude, there's like over 13, 14 people watching right now.
Yeah, lively chat. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's very good to see.
I'm going to say hi to everybody real quick. I'm not ignoring you guys. Just trying to get our conversation out. Mick Thompson, Monkey in the chat. Ben, he makes some great beer content. Can't wait to collab with him soon. Hunter, Harley, who I have to make a video for. I did not forget about you, but go check out her podcast. Thank you, Stream Elements. You're killing the game. Hunter Dillon, Jake the Tribal Chief. Who else we got here? Donnie Bambino, the most, he is the most handsome Italian. I'm probably 2nd or 3rd place.
An upstanding gentleman, a fine upstanding gentleman.
And Scott Raz is in the chat, killing it. But let's dive in to our list because it's a lot to cover. So here's the topics that we have going into this episode. We have the wrestler of the year, the tag team of the year, the women's wrestler of the year, match of the year, most improved, the feud of the year, babyface of the year, heel of the year, comeback of the year, inspirational of the year, rookie of the year, and then we're going to do independence, male of the year, female of the year, and tag team of the year.
Now we should have.
Independence does not mean people that we both have worked for. So this is just the independent as a whole, because I will say a lot of these people on this list I didn't work with. They're just killing it on the independent scene.
Yeah,
so if your name doesn't get called, don't blame me. I'm picking probably some super indie names.
Yeah, and also like I did have some people who you might say, oh, they're with Impact, but I didn't take their Impact work into account.
Some people are
Solely
still
what they did
working the indie scene and still in Impact.
Yeah, I'm solely judging them on what they did on the indies. I'm not taking into account for a bit what they do in Impact.
Yeah. Yeah, so great stuff. So let's start off with our rookie of the year. And I will defer to you, BP.
This one's solely so hard because rookie, if you look at it like from traditional sports, it's like, okay, it's their first year in the league. Or I guess in like hockey or baseball, they may have been in the minors, and you have to have so many at bats or so many minutes played to be considered a rookie. And we already have it from Harley, Chad Andretti. I don't consider Action Andretti a rookie. He's a rookie on the big stage, but he's not a rookie. So I have and I didn't do like a second place, third place because I thought of one person who is a genuine rookie. They literally had their first match this year, and I think it's a no-brainer. Should I just say it?
Yeah.
I think it's Logan Paul.
That's exactly my
It's got to be Logan Paul. He only had 3 matches, but they were all great. And yeah, I think it's
one of his
Logan
matches
Paul.
Could be in contender of match of the year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Had a very fun match at WrestleMania, a very fun match at SummerSlam, and just a banger of a match at Crown Jewel with Roman. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of this list that you're going to hear is TV stuff. So it's going to be AEW, WWE, that's essentially what we're leaning into. I know we do a lot of independent, but we do have independent of the year, independent stuff at the end. But also, so for me, Andretti could, but I think him coming in December is going to be tough for him to steal the rookie of the year with a month to go in the month. You know what I mean? For me, I have a runner-up who I know in our hearts and our minds is not a rookie because they've been around a long time. But I think in the eyes of the casual person watching TV, they are a rookie to them because they've never seen them before. And my runner-up for behind Logan Paul for rookie of the year is going to be Willow Nightingale.
That's a good one.
I think this year she had a great year. She was officially signed, had a lot of appearances at Dark, had 3 opportunities to take down Jade, had an opportunity for Mercedes Martinez for the ROH championship. Had a great year, rookie of the year candidate. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, Logan Paul in just 3 matches crushed it.
I have been super, super, super critical of NXT, but I think somebody I would really put over. I think she had some raw athleticism to start and then slowly put it together. It was super silly, but the death match she did with Wendy Chu, the death match, where it was all like slumber party match. Tiffany Stratton's going to be a big star. Stratton's going to be a big, big star, and I think she had a lot of growth this year. I don't know if she's considered rookie. I don't know when her first TV match was, but if you're considering somebody relatively new,
so
Tiffany
here's a question.
Stratton.
I want to pose something to you. So I always said I think NXT has a lot of potential, but it
has so much potential.
I said I think NXT is one of those programs. I think if you watch, the more you watch it, the more you're gonna get behind characters and see what they're about. And I think NXT really started to win people over mid this year and start showing that they have a lot of really good people that you can build on.
Yeah, no, there's so much. There's a ton. Braun's really good. Carmella Hayes is really good.
Did you watch this Tuesday?
No,
So there's a tag team. They're kind of they remind me of the Steiner brothers.
The Creed brothers?
The Creed brothers.
They've been around for a while. No, they're a little green, but they have a ton of potential.
Yeah.
They started like right when the 2.0 rebrand started.
So there's a guy.
They have a lot of potential.
I'm still new with the names. If someone watches, let me know. The opening match of NXT this week. Actually, let me check the Discord because Jake, the Tribal Chief, puts every single match in there. But there's a guy that I thought wrestled one of the Creed brothers that I think has a ton of potential, and I was really impressed with him.
But here's my thing with NXT. They do all this good stuff, and then you have a match where the referee's throwing up black stuff, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Papa Shango, really? We're doing that again?
JD McDonough.
Oh, that's Jordan Devlin. Yeah, he's not a rookie. He was like,
wow.
He was a cruiserweight champion during the pandemic. He was NXT UK for a while. McDonough is far from a rookie.
Wow.
That's Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, I never really watched a lot of him, I'm going to be honest. And I'm like, dude, if NXT wants to have a new Adam Cole, that's a guy you can make your next Adam Cole.
He was a cornerstone of NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
A cornerstone.
That makes sense. Yeah. All right. So let's get to our next award here. Our inspirational year, person of the year. And I'll go first here. And for me, inspirational is two people who we have seen this year alone. Lavelle in the chat, what's going on, brother? Crispy in the chat, what's going on? But inspiration to me is someone who we've spent time with, someone we've worked with, someone who we've seen just grind and hustle, and then we started watching them on TV. And I'm gonna have a number one and a number two here, and they're gonna be Willow and Action Andretti. I don't remember a moment in recent time where I felt like there's only a small group of us in the Northeast area who really cheered as hard for two moments in professional wrestling more than anybody else. Like Willow making her debut and Action Andretti. I get chills still thinking about Action Andretti beating Chris Jericho on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Our group chat, the night that happened, it was like, what? Because the match is on, and I'm looking at like, that's Andretti against Jericho, and it's like, and I was a little behind. Like, this is Texas. He's from Maryland. He didn't drive there. They flew him in for this, and it's like
it went to commercial, and
he did win this thing. Yeah.
and then a code breaker. The crowd and that popping.
And then that's that surreal moment. It's like I interviewed this guy on Saturday. It's now Wednesday, and he beat Chris Jericho. So I'm the pathway to success. That's me.
There it is.
And I'm gonna say one other thing. I've been doing interviews for a few months now, and not once has somebody been hit with a fireball. Shivani, not one time.
Shit together.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be my inspirational thing of the year for me is Willow Nightingale and Action Andretti, just because it's just like to see people you've seen on like every weekend that we go and we work, and just people on the independent scene that we've really, and then for them to finally make it's just super cool. And I think it's going to happen more with a lot of our friends in the Northeast area, because if you think Action's good, you think Willow's good, there's a lot more in the pipe.
There's a wealth of talent. There's a wealth of talent around there. And that's a really good one. I went a little more mainstream, and one I was close to, and you even brought it up as like because I was like, inspirational, what do you really want to do with this thing? One I thought was a good one, and I've been if you were listening to the old Tornado Tag days, I was a little critical of this guy, and I think he's fine now. I think he's good in his role. Otis, just because he was so open about his battles with dyslexia and getting a tutor and learning how to read, when there's so much shame in having a learning disability, that to put a public face on that is a really cool thing to do. And that was a close one for me. And then, and I think what tipped me to another direction is it's kind of a faux pas when you're a content creator to talk about other content. But today, while I was going to and from work, I listened to the first episode, just came out today, of the FTR podcast. And Dax Harwood, it was a very open guy, very honest guy on there. And he's been open and honest before about his struggles with anxiety, about how hard it was for him. Like, Shawn Michaels is being so nice to him to his face, and he's making him look like a nothing when he's around DX, and all the other stuff that's happened to him. His struggles with everything. I think Dax Harwood is my inspiration, and the whole fight like an 8-year-old girl thing with his daughter having these health issues.
Dax made himself very vulnerable, but I think it was very good for people to see. You know who else did that a lot this year? Brock talked about his anxiety and how he doesn't like to be around people, and kind of really came out of his shell in 2022. All great picks. The only one I had Otis at number 2. The other inspirational pick for me is someone who we never thought we'd see ever again. Someone we thought that was done, washed up, injured. All their life was going to be was just living off of what they did in wrestling and playing video games online. And that was fine for them because they were doing great. But for Saraya to come back, Saraya to come back and be in professional wrestling, I'm still getting used to it. It's tough not to say Paige, but Saraya to come back is awesome.
That's another very good one.
Yeah.
And we also have, let's go to the next award.
The comeback of the year.
Saraya, I thought of more for this.
Yes, same here.
Not my winner though.
She is my winner. That is Saraya is my comeback of the year. But my number 2 might be your number 1.
Well, I'm not gonna say my pick's name. I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
I'm gonna spell it. Is it yours, number 2?
No.
Who's your number 2 then?
What?
That's a good one. All right, the one Matt. That's a good. I didn't even think of that.
That's a great comeback. But Stone Cold came back at Mania and main evented a talk show segment.
Here's my thing. He could have come back at any time. He was gone on his own terms. And I'm glad that he came back because it's Steve Austin. Of course we're going to see him wrestle again.
I just remember sitting in the bar. I'm like, what the fuck are we watching? And he's going for it.
Yeah. And it was good. It was a good match.
That was so much fun.
But my comeback wrestler of the year has more lives than a damn cat. He's been left for dead in professional wrestling so many times and has come back. He is the human embodiment of the company he founded. He will never go away. He will never die. And I'm going to spell his name now. J-E double F J-A-R-R-E double T. That's double J. Jeff Jarrett.
Ain't he come back on the independent scene and then turned it into an AEW appearance.
Starts the year with GCW. With Effie at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Moves on to, he's going to be Office in WWE. That gets ripped out from under him. Before you know it, he is in AEW. He is directing their live events, and he is in a tag team feud now with the hottest tag team in wrestling.
The King of the Carney, baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's unbelievable. You can't stop Jeff Jarrett. It's impossible.
It's that's a credible. That's a pick. That's a pick.
He has been left for dead countless times.
Yeah.
And he's still there.
I will say my other comeback of the year is Bayley. It's going to be my other comeback. But unfortunately, I think Bayley's comeback was a little meh. I thought she was going to win a title or something, but that unfortunately did not happen.
Relax. Give it time. Relax.
All right. This might be a runaway, but heel of the year.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. This was tough for me. There's two obvious picks. And you're picking one or you're picking the other. And I'm thinking I'm picking the one that not everybody picks. So is yours MJF?
Both of my picks are two heels who everyone adores as heels. So they're kind of like the anti-hero. But yes, MJF is my number one.
MJF was my close second. But there's only one. That's right.
Roman Reigns.
And here's why.
Two. And he missed MJF by that much. But
here's
only
why.
Because I think Roman is just, I don't know, he's like a heel, but he's like an insane babyface. It's so nuts.
I think that's what MJF is. MJF is Roddy Piper. He's the person you love to hate. Everybody's in on the joke. Everybody's in on the joke. And then I think back to Clash at the Castle. And I'm like, and my reaction to Clash at the Castle is like, oh, come on. You ruined Drew McIntyre. What the hell? It's his home country. You ruined it.
That is a heel move.
Drew's kind of ruined. But that reaction, because it took a while. It took a month or two to process. It's like, God damn, he got me. Roman got me. That's what you're supposed to think to a hero. It's like, oh, they got him this time. They didn't get him.
I thought that was
they're going to get him next time.
That was a runaway win for Drew. I thought going in like, Drew's winning. There's no way he goes to his home country.
And the fact that he doesn't, and you're like, well, I'm angry about this. I'm angry that guy won.
Got us.
He did his job.
Yep.
I'm not angry when MJF wins. I'm not angry. I got angry, but that was the first time I got angry at somebody winning a wrestling match in forever.
Yeah. I think you flipped me. I think
he did his job.
Yep. Fuck, that's a good analogy. I'm flipping them. Roman's 1, MJF 2. Do you have a 3?
My 3 is probably gonna be I don't have one in mind. I'm trying to think who's been a great female here this year. If Bayley would have had a full year, it would have been Bayley for me.
Great heel this year.
Rhea Ripley's been incredible.
And listen, Guthrie or Ripley, just oh boy, is that distracting. She is she is she is she is a that is everyone's mommy, and she's leaning
And,
into it. She know, like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? The fact that she knows she's super sexy,
and
that men and women are drooling over her.
oh yeah,
She's
and
killing
it seemed like Dominic Mysterio was kind of left for dead as a babyface,
it.
and she's breathing some life into him.
Yeah, yeah, it's nuts. Baby face of the year.
This was hard for me. I think I have an unconventional pick, and
I have
I'm
a
gonna
clear
stick by
winner.
it. Who's your clear winner?
My clear winner, only because you would think that you know, it is a little tougher than you think, but for me, when we went to Raw live
Oh, we might have
is
the same pick here.
when it really solidified me of
Mhm.
how important this person is and how big they are as a babyface.
We might
Because
have the same pick here.
representation in wrestling is important.
I'm almost positive we have the same pick here now.
And when you think of just yourself, and I'm not trying to bring race into it, but I 100% am. When you think of yourself as just a white dude, a white kid who most of your life, your pop culture references, your wrestlers, your sports athletes, everybody was essentially that was the marketed person that was thrown in your face was white. And
See,
then
I don't have this experience.
but
My
when you
sports heroes as a child were Randall Cunningham and Charles Barkley. I
yeah,
don't have this experience.
but when I guess for sports is a bad analogy, but for wrestling and pop culture and stuff like that. But
We
when
have the same pick. I can't believe it. Yeah, this was. I thought it was.
yeah,
I thought it was going off board. This was an easy one for me.
yeah. So when I looked around the arena in Raw and I just seen a younger generation of females,
Yep.
little girls,
Mm-hmm.
people of color who just looked at her like I looked at Macho Man and how people looked at Hogan, and you're just like, that's another generation. She is so impactful.
Well, let's say the name because it's also I think
Bianca
very hard to.
Belair.
Yeah, and I think it's very hard to be a great pure baby face because if you don't have a little bit of an edge on you, people will turn on you. And yes, Bianca Belair does a great job as a pure 100% old school baby face.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
And that is my baby face of the year, definitely. And I thought
Dude,
I thought I was going off board
I
there.
almost got a little emotional. I'm not gonna. When she came out, I was like, "Yo, I'm excited to see her live and hear her music and hear the response to her." And then you just kind of step around and you look around and you just see like how she's responded to in person. It's like this is big. Like
Yeah,
it's
and
important.
even independent of that, she's really good. Like
Yeah.
independent of that, she's just really good.
Yep. Now everything I said kind of gets thrown out the window for the next two picks because my number two is and this is interchangeable between 2 and 3 depending on who you are and what type of style you are. Um, it's hard not to say Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, pure baby face.
Yeah.
As pure as a driven snow, baby face.
Riddle's a good pick, but did Riddle get the Clash of the Castle treatment this year? Did they base a pay-per-view around him? Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre this year. I know they buried him,
And then
but dude,
buried
what
him
a
6
baby
feet
face.
deep.
But what a baby face he was for most of 2022.
He was, yeah, solid. Very solid.
Yeah.
I'm
But
trying to think AW wise. AW wise, I'm not really hitting somebody.
Mox.
Yeah, I guess Mox will be your big baby face.
Yeah.
But
Mox
he's that baby face with an edge, and I guess Punk was a baby face, but people hate him now for the backstage stuff. But he was a good baby face.
They hate him because he stuck up for himself and then got attacked by 3 CEOs.
Yeah.
What a weird way to hate somebody, right?
No. He's hurt, he's old, he's tired. He works with effing children.
Yeah. Tweener is the yep. From Dream to Destiny. All right. Feud of the year.
This one was easy for me. Can we just improvise an award here? Can we improvise an award here?
Go ahead.
Character of the year.
Roman.
Character / gimmick of the year.
Roman.
Close. Not mine.
Who?
He's very close to Roman. He's almost family. Yes.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, character of the year. Absolutely.
So when I say feud of the year, I didn't just put Roman. I wrote Bloodline versus insert here.
Bloodline versus everyone. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was my feud of the year was Bloodline versus the world. Number 2, Seth Cody.
Okay. My number 1 is not something you've said yet.
Oh, go ahead.
And we didn't get the true payoff because of the whole fracas in Chicago. But my feud of the year is Punk MJF.
Yeah, that was the only reason I put it to 3 and I put Seth and Cody above it is because I think Seth and Cody's Hell in a Cell was a great match.
That dog collar match was so good.
It was good, but I think
it was in February, I think.
Yeah, I think Seth and Cody's Hell in a Cell was better.
Oh, I love that dog collar match.
And because of how disappointed I was that payoff never happened.
And was this the year? Was it? I think it was early 2022 that MJF beat Punk in Chicago, which was so good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
All right, this is the one I'm excited about. Most improved of the year.
I might be going outside the box on this, so I'll let you go first. This was hard for me, but I definitely have a number 1 that I feel good about.
Number 1 for me is going to be a tag team.
Me too. Did we get the same one again here? Yep, we did. Yeah.
The Acclaimed.
Absolutely.
What a
not
fucking
close.
Year. Yeah.
They went from a fun undercard tag team to the hottest tag team in wrestling that just has great matches every week.
They made me eat my words. I said, dude, we're going to ruin the Acclaim by making them go against FTR in a match. Nope. You're going to show that everyone loves the Acclaimed until they wrestle FTR. And they beat FTR and everybody was okay with it. I'm like, they're over.
Well, FTR, people love FTR because they respect them, but they're heels. If you watch their work in NXT, their heel work is so good. Their heel work is just on another level in tag team division.
Now, I'm curious who your runners up here for who you're thinking.
For most improved? Yeah. I couldn't really... I had some trouble. All right, go ahead.
Angelo Dawkins.
Okay.
Improved this year. This dude went from wearing baggy t-shirts and kind of was the guy everyone's like, get him away from his tag team partner because he's just holding him back. This dude lost a ton of weight. He's doing tope suicidas. He's diving through ropes. He's killing. He put work in this year to say, no. I deserve this just as much as he kind of listened to the internet saying that he shouldn't be around Montez and changed himself up this year. And I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, I'm still kind of looking forward to a Montez for a singles run, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I like Dawkins.
Yeah, I think he won a lot of hearts this year.
By the way, and I just thought of it. Because I heard the word Dawkins, and I thought football, and this guy was a football player at one point. I'd be remiss if we don't jump all the way back to Rookie of the Year. I gotta throw an honorable mention to my buddy Tom Mitchell.
Tom Mitchell, yeah.
Genuine rookie, too. Had his first match this year.
Absolutely.
Genuine rookie. Had his first match teaming with Dango this year.
Yeah. Ryan Vox in the chat. What's going on, brother? Everyone in the chat, thank you guys so much. They're just talking to each other, and I love it. It's like...
Yeah.
They're just chatting with each other, and I love that. You have no idea how much that warms my heart. You guys are
just let those two idiots talk. We're entertaining ourselves.
I love it. That dude, interaction and comments helps out so much. If you are watching on Facebook or anywhere else, please head over to the YouTube, hit subscribe. We are on the quest now for 5K. Unless y'all think we can just blow past it and just go right to 1,000, let's fucking get it done.
Also, somebody I think could have gotten some honorable mention for Inspirational Wrestler of the Year, and never going to be Asuka, never going to be Bailey in the ring, but Mandy Rose did get better this year, and Mandy Rose is somebody who kind of knew her worth and is embracing the fact that she got dumped for making money off of her looks and not only letting WWE do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So more good on her.
Yeah. My last most improved, and I think her matches are starting to come together a little bit. I think she's starting to really hold her own. I think maybe working with some people backstage is maybe helping her out a little bit. I don't not look forward to her matches as much as I used to in the past. I think Jade had a good year.
Okay, yeah. She's got some work to do, but she's getting there.
I think you can definitely see she's improving.
I mean, she's always had the ability. Just thinking of AEW's women's division, but as far as improved as push-wise and becoming a character and becoming a presence, Jamie Hayter.
Yeah,
Jamie Hayter is somebody.
She won the title and changed her hair. Did she change her hair? It looks like a different human.
Yeah. Well, if you saw her at the very beginning of AEW and now, completely different human being.
Yeah, they look like her and Rebel look like the same person almost. Like they have like the bang look and the whole, which is not bad because they're both very, very pretty women. All right, match of the
year. So a lot of we talked about Roman Logan Paul was a really good one.
That is my number 3.
basically anytime Roman's in the ring. Roman and Drew was a very good one.
My number 2, you might have an aneurysm about. But
my number 1 is a tag team match. My number 1 I watched with you.
Okay.
The first Briscoes FTR match is my match of the year.
I literally wrote FTR Briscoes, pick one. That's literally what I wrote on my paper.
Take your pick.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
You can take any of the 3 FTR Briscoe matches. Tag teams have taken over match of the year this year.
But for me, it's just like maybe it's the first one. Just like this is happening. This is happening. This is probably my favorite tag team of all time against my favorite tag team of right now. I like pinch me, and it lived up to the. It lived up to the hype.
Well, what's his name? Cut himself for no reason, just to show color.
Yeah.
And the camera caught it. We're just like, I love the Briscoes.
Mark's crazy. It's fine.
Sheamus versus Gunther, great.
Sheamus and Gunther. Oh man, that was a wild one. That Clash of the Castle show was fun, mainly because of that match and the main event. But yeah, that was a really good one there. Sheamus and Gunther for sure. That was a war.
I have something for me that beat it.
All right.
It was at Forbidden Door.
Oh, okay.
And I think you look at Forbidden Door's card and you think, man, there's clear-cut top matches here.
I thought you were going to say Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville, and I was going to walk off the show.
And there's one match that people were like, why is this even on the card? Why are we taking this megastar and putting him with this person? And I looked at that card and I said, they're going to fucking steal the show. And they did. Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy.
I think anybody that said that didn't understand who Orange Cassidy is and where he came from.
But here's the thing. People see Orange Cassidy, and then he'll go and prove them all wrong. And then next week he's on TV, and people are like, why the fuck is he there? Like, did you just forget he blew your mind a couple weeks ago? Like, people have like 50 first dates with Orange Cassidy. He'll go out and steal the show with Kenny and Pac, and then he'll get put back into like, this guy's a joke. He's not good. He's not good. And then he wrestles again. You're like, holy fuck, this guy's amazing. Like, people forget.
Then there's people that watch a lot of Jakar and like, yeah, he's got this.
Yeah, but that's my number 2 was Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy.
That was a really good one. That was a really good one.
Love it.
I'm trying to think. I think Seth and Cody at WrestleMania was quite good.
Yeah, that was the Hell in a Cell was unbelievable too.
Well, the Hell in a Cell is just the spectacle of Cody being so obviously severely injured. I think the spectacle was more
Cody
than the match.
I mean, Seth to put a match on with a guy.
Hurt him. Absolutely. Seth Rollins is to the point where he is so talented that his talent gets taken for granted.
Fucking agreed. All right. Let's go with probably the most easiest pick of this year. Tag teams of the year.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, FTR.
FTR, yeah. I thought about the Usos for like 2 seconds. Like, no, it's FTR.
Usos aren't my top 3. They have when they're not wrestling for their titles, they lose a lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't care if you lose a lot. FTR loses a lot. They're great.
FTR
They're the best tag team in the world.
Number 2, Acclaimed.
All right.
Number 3, Briscoes.
Them boys. Yeah. I'll go with that list.
That's my list. All right, let's get into the woman wrestler of the year. And I think this is another easy one, BP.
Is it another win for our best babyface? Because that's my pick.
Yeah, Bianca Belair.
And I will say, plug to our buddy Matt Turner. I wish I knew more about Stardom.
Agreed.
He does the Stardom cast because I know Mayu Iwatani has done some great stuff there. Kairi Hojo back in Japan. I think she's just Kairi now, has done some great stuff. Mercedes KV or Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her, is going to be over there soon. Stardom is just re-revolutionizing women's wrestling. Women's wrestling in Japan is as hot as it's been in about 25 years or more.
It's so good. New Japan once made a title.
Well, yeah, but they also own Stardom, so that helps.
What I'm saying is, like, a company who didn't really showcase women's wrestling is going to have a women's match at their big pay-per-view.
Well, they've had them at the Dome for a while, but the first year, maybe the first few years, they didn't put them on New Japan World for some reason. Yeah. But I am not well versed enough to speak on Stardom. I wish I was. It's a blind spot for me. But yeah, for American women's wrestling, which is all I can really speak to, it's definitely Bianca Belair.
Yeah. My number 2 here.
Also, another great women's match is her and Becky at WrestleMania. I thought that was great.
Yeah. SummerSlam's match was good too. Becky fucked up her shoulder and wrestled the whole match, essentially.
Yep.
And then the promo the next day, I was like, can we just give Becky a pill so she can come back, because that babyface return for Becky's going to be amazing. My number 2 of the year, and it's someone who Sports Illustrated put on their top 10 list, and it warmed my heart.
Yeah.
The fact we have been talking about this talent for 4 to 5 years and telling people to get on this train. And I think she's the only other woman besides Bianca who was even mentioned, and it was mentioned by fucking Sports Illustrated. She's had, I think, 3 title matches now in Impact. Unfortunately has not won any of them. Still works the independent scene just as a character, as a heel, as a work rate. My number 2 pick is Masha Slamovich.
Yeah, and I'm jumping the words here, but that is my independent women's wrestler of the year, is Masha Slamovich.
Yeah. And my number 3, I almost went with Rhea, but I went with Mandy Rose. I thought Mandy Rose had a great year in NXT.
I thought she improved, but if you ask me do I want to watch a Rhea Ripley match or a Mandy Rose match, I'm watching Rhea Ripley.
Agreed, but I think people tuned into NXT for a while for her, for Mandy and Braun Breaker. Everything else they didn't really care about.
I haven't tuned into NXT, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
All right.
But I think 2023 may definitely be the year of Rhea Ripley.
Before we get into the wrestler of the year, let's backtrack. You kind of already given your pick for woman of the independent scene, so let's jump to that.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely Masha.
I didn't go Masha on this list because I felt because she got signed, I didn't know that. I know she still works in the independent scene. But...
Yeah, I'm not taking into account anything she did in Impact when I say that.
Yeah,
if I had to, if she was disqualified, I'd probably, I don't know, Allie Catch maybe would be up there for me.
Great pick, but unfortunately, I didn't go with Allie. Erica Lee.
Erica Lee's a good one for sure.
Another
winner of the first women's Super 8. Yep.
Wrestled the men's Super 8 and went to the finals.
Yeah, it took Darius Carter to the limit.
Yeah. My number 2, she's going to be wrestling possibly again. She's going to be wrestling very soon for the IWTV Heavyweight Championship. Trish Adora.
Yeah. Is she still? I'm not sure if you know, the Pan African Diaspora World Champion.
I think so. And then number 3, someone who made the PWI Top 500 list, and also made it for the women's list, had a great year this year. Jordan Blade.
Yeah.
That's my 3 women for the independent scene. Let's go tag team independent.
Yeah, my winner, especially now because
this is where Allie steps in for me. Bussy, number 1.
Really? Okay.
Bussy, number 1.
Did they beat the Briscoe brothers this year? Because I know a team that did.
They are on my list, but I felt right now Bussy was one of the hottest tag teams in the independent scene when it comes to like GCW and working everywhere.
I think if you're talking like true indies, main event is that's my team. That's my team of the year.
They're my number 2 for. I went Bussy over main event, but yeah. But main event,
yeah, that's a take your pick.
They are leaving this year as the House of Glory Tag Team Champions, and I love that.
And I mean, do the Briscoes count? Because the Briscoes might be up there. They've done Ring of Honor. They've done 3 matches Ring of Honor this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, the Outfielders.
Outfielders are definitely up there. I thought about for indie women Shay McCoy, but I think Shay does a lot more with the Outfielders and is truly somebody who transcends gender roles in wrestling, which is
they just won the trios over there in Camp Leapfrog High Tension Christmas trios. Yeah.
They won it before. It was the original Christmas trios. It was them and Edith.
Yep, and they did it again with Edith.
All right, 2 times.
Yep.
So I think Edith may have still been alive in that first one.
Yeah. So male indie wrestler of the year. I have an asterisk next to one because I think this is the person that everyone's going to say is their independent wrestler.
Yeah, and it's probably mine. And I know they were an Impact, but I'm disqualifying with Mike Bailey.
Okay. AC Mack is really regarded as one of the best of the year this year, but he's my number 3.
AC Mack was the IWTV World Champion for a while. Mike Bailey, it seems like anytime, and again, he was the X Division Champion for a while this year, but I'm not even taking that into account.
Mike Bailey had a great year. During the collective or what the WrestleMania weekend, he wrestled like 19 times.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and it was something where anytime somebody wanted to do a dream match, call Mike Bailey.
Yeah,
and now he's in America for good. Somebody put a ring on it.
Married.
And Vita Scott put a ring on it. So you'll be seeing a lot more of him. And I think just did an incredible job of living up to the I'm the Indy Dream Match guy now.
So my number 1 and number 2 are pure off just my complete bias, and I totally agree with probably him and AC Mack as number 1 and number 2. But I went with someone who I think really blew up on the independent scene this year and really, really made a name for himself. And I think
you're gonna finally admit how much you like Ricky Price.
No, absolutely not. Are you crazy? But I think Ricky and MIT can be in the caliber of these two guys in the very near future. My number 2 pick, Alec Price, really making a name for himself on the independent scene.
Right on.
Yeah, and my number 1, I think this kid could be the next HBK. I think he has the body type. I think he has the athleticism. He can wrestle almost any style you put him in. He was that kid that was just really scrawny and tiny, and then he hit that manhood. His testosterone's kicking in. He's putting some muscle mass on. I think the world is at his oyster in the very near future, and that's Jordan Oliver.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan Oliver
has the look. He has the in-ring. He literally, there's nothing this kid can't do. He is going to
maybe
be
a little more seasoning, a little more experience, a few more years, and the sky's the limit.
Megastar. Fucking megastar, Jordan Oliver. Worst crown champion in 2022. I didn't put thought into that. Can you throw it out top of your head?
I'm trying to think of bad champion.
Oh, I know one. Liv.
Bad title reign. I think it was a good idea to put the title on her after she won the title.
Problem is
not crazy.
Her and Ronda.
Her
and Ronda's program was not good, and it kind of ruined the whole division.
Yeah, and I think it was more the booking and more the let's emphasize Ronda than anything Liv did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was and it started with so much problems because everybody was so hyped when she cashed in Money in the Bank. And then it just fizzled out.
I thought her winning Money in the Bank was a bad move.
All right.
I like her. I just didn't think she was ready for it at that point in time. Wrestler.
Here's one. I wasn't too crazy about Swerve and Our Glory being the tag champions. I'm glad that they had the matches with the Acclaim. I think individually they're great. They're great talents. They had great matches, but the team never clicked for me. And I know it was like a last second thing. Like I think the Bucks were supposed to win it, and then something happened.
Big Swerve guy.
In the chat they got it. Tyrus NWA champion.
Oh yeah, you win.
Done.
You win. That's it.
That's it.
Done. We're not conversation over.
Scott got it. Yep.
Yeah. Wrestler of the year.
This one was hard for me, and I think as we've talked, I think I've changed my mind.
Really?
I think I've changed my mind as this show has gone on. So who's yours? Let's start with you. Seth
frickin' Rollins.
Wasn't my pick. I think he's the guy who, and this is a compliment. Wow, this is funny, and we'll get into why. Seth is like such a great glue to hold everything together. He's such a great cornerstone. I think he's so good at making everybody else look good that I kind of maybe discounted him. Also, that gimmick annoys the hell out of me. And it's getting better now that he's kind of pseudo babyface, but as a heel, that gimmick had go away heat for me. Not like this is annoying me, I want to see him get beat. It's just like this is annoying, and it's making me like a wrestler I admire quite a bit less.
Yeah.
But again, Seth Rollins is
so
just stupid talented. Most talented wrestler of the year, Seth Rollins. I'm in on that. But the gimmick, just especially the when he was over the top obnoxious, and
I just look at what he did in the ring this year.
Oh, the in-ring was. Yeah. Well, if we're doing that, my wrestler is Bryan Danielson, because it's Bryan Danielson, and I'm always going to love.
I wish I could agree with you, but I just some of those matches.
But Bryan Danielson is not my wrestler of the year. I enjoyed his matches probably more than I enjoyed Seth's matches, but that's more of WWE being very formulaic, I think.
Yeah.
But Seth is so talented. No, when I was coming into this, I thought my wrestler was going to be Jon Moxley, just because this is a guy who, when AEW was at its worst, when their champion was hurt, when their champion got into a big fracas after a match, whenever we need help, in case of emergency, break glass, and behind the glass is Jon Moxley.
John or Jericho in AEW.
Jericho, Yeah. I mean, they're the guys. I enjoyed Moxley a little more. Jericho didn't do a whole lot for it.
Moxley also
The
should
J
have been an Inspirational Award this year.
Yeah, oh totally. But the JAS thing is kind of like what I was saying with Seth Rollins' gimmick, where it had go away heat for me after a while. It was fun when it started. It was fun like up until that blood and guts, and then it's just like, okay, can we phase this out now?
You know
I
what?
get it.
You know what got
sports entertainers.
They didn't emphasize Daddy Magic enough.
Oh, I love him. I love 2.0. But it just was
they weren't utilized. Like they weren't the Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle as they were. Like I thought 2.0 should have got a bigger push with JAS because I think they were very entertaining.
And it was just like I've had enough of this group. It annoys me. But Jericho he did the stuff he did with Action Andretti obviously was big. Yeah. But I thought I was gonna go Moxley. And then when we're talking about match of the year, and we're talking about you could pick Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. You could pick Roman Reigns and Drew. You could pick Roman. We didn't even talk about Roman Reigns and Seth at the Royal Rumble, which was great when Seth came out in the Shield gear. And then we're talking about the best heel. And I won. I told you my case for Roman Reigns, and I won you over, and you thought it was a better heel than MJF. Even though you only had a handful of matches, you don't need to wrestle every week. My wrestler year is Roman Reigns.
Fun fact: you know how many matches Roman? I looked this up. You know how many matches Roman wrestled this year?
6.
52.
5. Really? Oh, he must be doing some house shows.
Most of it were not. I think only 6 of them were house shows.
He's wrestled on TV that much?
Yeah. 51 or 52.
It might have been like tag matches or something like that. Appearances or matches?
Matches.
Huh.
Seth was like 118.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Roman. My wrestler year is Roman.
Roman's my number 2. And the only reason I say because Roman has that time where he just didn't show up on TV, and it was all by design, I think.
Yeah.
And Seth kind of was the guy on Raw who was holding it together.
Yeah.
Especially after Cody left, and I thought Seth was that main guy.
If you look at it from a 1980s mindset, Roman is Hogan, Seth is Randy Savage.
Yep. And my number 3, Bianca Belair.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I think MJF is doing everything in his power and doing everything right. But honestly, he got the title, and I just don't care.
It's the law of diminishing return. It's a law of diminishing returns on that. It's a law of diminishing returns on that where, and he's also doing the cheap heat thing, which is always like, okay. I mean, that's always been his thing. It's always been his thing. I've always described MJF as the Dick's Last Resort of pro wrestling. Dick's Last Resort is the restaurant you go to, the theme restaurant where the whole gimmick is they give you intentionally bad service and they're intentionally rude. And everybody's in on the joke. And everybody's like, oh, it's going to be so great when MJF wins the title. There's going to be so much heat. And it's like, it happened. It's like, okay. You're the champion now. And the Regal thing didn't help. And the way they did that, it was such a mess.
He can cut it. Ricky Starks out of him in a week time.
And the Ricky Starks, Ricky Starks did a great job, but he kind of overshadowed MJF. And that's a good thing for MJF because that's what a heel should do. A heel should help you make babyface stars. So I thought that was a real standout thing that they had Ricky Starks do that promo.
And they're gonna throw Danielson at him. He's gonna beat Danielson again. He's gonna take another loss.
Now I'm perfectly fine with Danielson. I don't need Danielson to win all the time. Danielson might be my favorite wrestler of all time. Might be at worst he's second. Yeah. But my whole thing was if you're gonna have Danielson lose a billion matches, that's fine. Have him lose to young guys. I was fine when he lost to Daniel Garcia. I don't need Bryan Danielson continually putting over that young, up-and-coming, scrappy kid, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho doesn't need that rub.
I just see MJF right now as a title pitcher, and you're not going to get him versus Hangman. You're not going to get him versus Mox. You're not going to get him versus Kenny. You're not going to get him versus Jericho. You're not going to get him versus Punk.
I think you're absolutely going to get him and Kenny.
See, I think Kenny's going to be tied up in the elite stuff.
That's a waste of Kenny.
Yeah, I think MJF's title run is going to be a lot of younger guys in the company, and I don't know how much it's going to stick.
We'll see. Well, they got. I think you might for the in between shows, the TV stuff like the Ricky Starks of the world for that. But at some point, you got to sell pay-per-views, and that's why they're putting him with Danielson because Danielson has that name value, and that's when you're going to put him with a guy like an Omega or a Moxley because those guys have name value. They will sell
when you
pay-per-views.
looked at AEW as a company and they started and they're like Jericho, and then you're like, oh, Jericho to Mox, and then Mox to Kenny, and then Kenny, like we kind of had that roadmap, like, oh, Hangman's taking this, and then Punk's taking it, and then MJF's taking it.
Was an audible. I think
Yeah.
MJF was originally supposed to beat Hangman. If they had this grand plan.
I thought it was Punk. I thought the plan forever was going to be Punk.
Well, the plan that was when they started AEW, the plan wasn't to hire Punk. That came later.
Yeah,
once they got Punk, the plan was Punk and MJF. Yeah.
I really can't really see what their blueprint is right now when it comes to MJF and who's the guy who takes it off him eventually.
If you can build him up properly, and I think he's going to beat Jericho, and you stretch it out for a while, and then maybe like All Out in the next fall, you could make Ricky Starks your guy. Yeah. If he can beat MJF. You can make Ricky Starks your guy. He's small, but that doesn't matter anymore. Everybody's small.
I thought for a second we were gonna get a bigger Ethan Page push. I love that dude.
You will in time. Very good match with Danielson on Dynamite.
Very good match. Yeah, very good match. Well, we did it. We banged it out. 56 minutes. If there's anything in the chat that you guys want to get out before we get out, put it in the chat. Ask any questions if you have anything. If you have any ideas for future episodes, put them in the chat. So I don't think he was supposed to be face. I think that was a swerve. That's just
that was a red herring, as they say.
Yeah. If you have any ideas for future episodes, let us know. We can do the history of. We can review old shows. We're going to review some other stuff. We're going to have some guests joining us. Maybe we have a third co-host who's going to join us for a while coming up very soon. And we are open to have other people jump in. What we might do is I might steal a little something from CRO Media when we get towards the end of each show. Maybe bring somebody in and talk a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. But before we get to, while people are kind of thinking of some things or some suggestions to put in the chat, Vince Torres, thank you so much, brother, on the congratulations for 400. I appreciate that. Brian, what do you got to plug?
It's about 8 o'clock right now. In 4 hours, if you go to wherever you find your podcast and you look up Murder My Dude, there will be a new episode. It is our New Year's Eve episode. We're talking about if you think New Year's Eve, you think Times Square, the ball dropping in Times Square. We're going to be talking about the Times Square killer, also known as the Torso Killer, who killed perhaps up to 100 women between the 1960s and the early 1980s. And it's quite a harrowing story. We're going to talk about that.
And then we're also light the room on fire.
They did a thing on Netflix about him. Yeah. We're also going to talk about somebody who was a topic of a previous Murder My Dude episode, a serial killer who is now out of prison, has been released from prison.
Who?
You have to listen to find out.
Oh boy. Just gonna leave this here. Darby 4. Oh god. What a punch in the dick that was to end Rampage. I'm not even gonna get into it. Anyway.
No. I'm not the biggest. You like a big guy can't wrestle a small guy, but I can't look at Samoa Joe and look at Darby Allin and say, yeah, Darby could beat him in a fight. It's impossible.
So here's what we said. Here's what I said, and we were saying in the chat in the show last night. There's small guys who have a moveset and execute a moveset that makes it believable that they can beat a big guy.
Yeah.
Darby's moveset, like his strikes don't look very effective. He just essentially throws his body into people.
Yeah. And you do that to Samoa Joe and either walks away or you bounce off him.
Or you get choked the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, once again, I'm sure Darby's a nice guy. Here's my little thing. I'm going to give you guys the ultimate teaser. Ready for this? I already announced 2 of these. Next Tuesday. So it's going to be two every Tuesday. They're going to be an episode in the afternoon, maybe early, and then an episode at 7 o'clock at night for the ABJ podcast.
What is this? 2 for Tuesday? What are you, a 1970s rock station?
2 for Tuesday. I need to get those numbers up. No,
are you playing a block of Rush too?
Yeah, I might be. This might be a dumb move, but there's a lot of people who want to do the show, and I don't want to stretch them out and make them wait forever. So I'm hitting while I'm hot. But episode 13, you're gonna love this one, BP. We're gonna take you to. We're gonna bring in the star of the theater. Thespian himself, J.S. Hawthorne, is gonna be my episode 13 on the ABJ podcast. Episode 14, we're gonna kind of stay with the sanctuary, but someone who's been traveling the road, working the Northeast scene, and then started his own promotion, had a great 2022. the Macedon, Rosh, Uncle
Masty. Yeah, he has a big birthday show coming up in March, I believe, March 5th.
That's right. And then we have a rookie, guy who's just a guy coming out of the backbreakers school, starting to really stretch his legs out, getting some good opportunities. Damon Dante.
Damon Dante.
I don't know why I keep saying Damon.
Like Johnny Damon, the baseball player, or Damon Wayans.
Damon Dante. Then a guy who I'm really excited to talk for, because I never really had a full conversation with him. He's a lot of behind the scenes work when it comes to some things, but he also was very entertaining. I Can't Believe Frog, and we killed him, kind of. Yeah, he died a couple times. Skiff.
I thought it was gonna be the spoiler.
Yeah,
I remember we killed the spoiler because our broadcast colleagues, our broadcast colleague Scott Holiday was very happy about that when we killed the spoiler.
Yeah, and then following that, episode 17.
Oh yeah, I remember we did throw Skiff in the pool, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think that was one of the many times that Kaya McKenna used her magic powers to kind of undo some craziness. I can't believe.
Well, Erica Lee saved Skiff by getting the remote and turning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was Killian Vision.
Yes. Episode 17, we're going back to the church, BP, and we're gonna bring back one of the main members of the B team, Vincent Torres.
That is the Honor Society.
Oh,
at least you're not calling them the C team anymore. Yes.
Yeah.
You're getting closer to their actual grade.
I forgot. Yeah, Honor Society. I'll eventually get it. Then we're gonna do a tag team on the Jersey scene. Very entertaining. Great.
By the way, when we were talking about most improved of the year, there you go, Vincent Torres. There's a good pick for that.
That match right there, where you're seeing in that photo, him versus Andre, was amazing. All right, we're gonna.
And there's another one if you want to talk about most improved of the year. Andre, what do we call him? Polino, Canella. Yeah, there's two people right there who could be very, very, very high ranked for most.
He'll be on the podcast. Some coming up very soon as well. Then we're taking to the Jersey scene with Security Inc. You don't know much about these guys, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be a really fun interview. Very entertaining. They're like mall cops / cops. They're fun.
Right on.
Yeah. And then one of the most beloved guy in the Northeast scenes. I mean, you look at this guy, you're gonna look at this photo, and you're gonna be like, "This." First off, this is a beautiful photo, and number two, look at just his smile. Coach Raph.
Yes.
Coach Raph coming on the show. Then we have a musician. I got to meet him up in Binghamton when I went up to see a punk rock show as well as a pro wrestling match. Dylan Willoughby. I'm probably mispronouncing his
Willoughby,
last name,
I believe. It'll be Willoughby.
But look at that kid. He got the long hair. He got the beard. He's rocking the Cactus Jack with the flannel. He's going to be fun to talk to. He reached out. I'm excited to learn about him and his band. Then we got a guy from the Jersey scene as well, Will Carroll. I don't know a lot about him, but I'm excited to learn. So that's gonna be one where I'm really pumped about it. And then number 22 to end out January, you gotta call the Dawn. Cue the music, hit the violins. Donnie Bambino coming to the ABJ podcast to roll out January.
Looking like he's about to smack you just for looking at him.
That's right, Donnie Bambino. That is a stud right there. But that is what we're bringing you the month of January at
Star-studded January.
It's gonna be great. So the question is, can we hit 500 by the end of January? That's a lot of interviews. That's a lot of people coming to see these interviews. Maybe bring some new people in. Here's the best part about this community with everybody in the chat. When someone new comes in, they're embraced with open arms. They're accepted.
That is
everyone.
Very cool.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what keeps this community growing. That's what keeps people coming here. That's what keeps people a fan of myself as well as you, as well as the brand that we're building, is because the people who are here are just a very welcoming community. And I want to give you guys so much credit for that. And I know it just popped up in the thing by Stream Elements. Great timing, Stream Elements. There's our Discord. We're 10 members away from 100 members. If you think this live chat is welcoming, wait till you see the Discord. There's football talk. There's wrestling talk. There's movie talk.
Do you want to talk about football? Do you want to talk about your new starting quarterback?
I hate you. Why would they do that? They're still in the playoff contention. Anyway, yes. So obviously I put a lot of work into this channel, and I'm just trying so hard. But no content creator is going to, no wrestler, no musician, anyone who makes art is not going to be successful without the people who support them. And you all have been so great in this chat, so great in the Discord, so great with sharing. Every time we go live, people are sharing, people are in the chats talking. I appreciate you all so fucking much. And I wish I had the money and the funds to just do more for you all. And I promise you, when that day comes, I will not forget about who's been here with me since day one. And I just want to thank you all for such a great 2022. Great things coming. If there's people you want to see interviewed, please tag them. Send them a message. Say, hey, man, this is a podcast I listen to. Someone I support heavily. I think he'd be a great conversation for you. I really feel like I'm hitting my stride with my interviews. I think I'm doing some great things, and I'm going to keep striving and working hard, building those relationships. You're going to see me at a lot of shows. But man, what a great 2022. Brian, BP, I want to thank you for a great 2022.
Yeah,
really I think we really hit a good strides when it came to commentary at Outbreak. I think we had a great. I think the Sanctuary is going to be even bigger and better than next year. I think I'm coming in full heel. I think we're going to bring back that old school commentary feel. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, man.
And Ricky Price is a bad influence on you.
And the biggest scumbag of the year award.
Oh,
Ricky Price, you dirtball.
No,
I hate you.
He's a nice kid.
He
should have been. Is he considered a rookie? He could have been the rookie of the year over Logan Paul.
He could have been.
Yeah.
If he wasn't such a piece of shit.
But he's so good. He's such a good wrestler.
He is. Everyone go to Ricky Price's social media and just be like, "We heart ABJ." Just comment that. He'll love it. Anyway, like I said, thank you guys so much. What are we at right now? What are we ending this stream up? 407. What a great thing. Love that. See you guys soon. Like I said, join the Discord. We'll see you guys a little bit later on there tonight. This will be the last time you see us this year. We'll see you guys 2023, maybe with some new music, maybe a new co-host. Do you have any ideas? You want to throw any ideas out for a show next year?
Predictions is always a fun thing to do at the beginning of the year. What do you predict for 2023?
Sold. That's what we're doing. First Thursday back for 2023 predictions. I like that. Are you going to come up with some, like, I know you did that for the tornado tag. I forget all the predictions we had, but let's have some fun predictions going into the year.
Yeah.
Who we think is going to be what? I love that. So good. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Here's some Billy Trey. Also, make sure you go check out Murder My Dude. Anywhere you find podcasts, go subscribe to Murder My Dude. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a review. Type it out. Say, BP Burke is the most handsome and has the best angelical voice you'll ever hear in your life. Make sure you show Murder My Dude some support. Go check out Murder My Dude on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. And while you're searching Murder My Dude on those platforms, also search ABJ Podcast. Let's get those numbers on the audio up. Audio needs help, people. We're hitting 400 or 500 subscribers on YouTube. The audio is not doing amazing. So it's a great car ride. It's a great to put your earbuds in and do stuff around the house. Support some Murder My Dude and some ABJ, where that's another outlet that we're trying to grind on. So definitely go check that out as well. But here is some Billy Trey. Everyone be safe this New Year's. If you see me out in public, let's stop. Let's take a photo. Let's have some fun going into this next year. But be safe. Drink responsibly if you're going to drink. Don't do anything crazy because we need you as much as you. We need you for the community. Don't be doing nothing crazy. But here's some Billy Trey. We'll see you next year. Happy New Year. And
Merry New Year too. All the merries.
Merry New Year's. Merry New Year's. Bye-bye.